What's up, this is Randall. In this video, we're going to add email validation so we can check anywhere like from a text field if our text is an email or at least fit an email pattern by using string extensions. So let's jump right in and get started. If you want to skip the detail of adding the test UI, you can jump directly to this timestamp here. So for the UI, as you can see, I'm adding an UI text field to our main view controller. Then I'll stretch out that text field. Then adding a leading, trailing, or left and right constraints and a top constraint between the text field and the main view controller. Now I'm adding two labels. One will be the output of our test and the second will simply be a descriptor. As you can see, I'm renaming the label as isValid and moving it over. Then I'm setting false as a placeholder. Now let's add constraints between the labels, which will be a horizontal spacing constraint and a top constraint. Then two more, one being a vertical spacing and a leading constraint between a label and the text field. Now let's update the leading constraint value to 130 so we can center the labels. Then one last thing, we'll update the text field constraint to an email address. Now that takes care of the UI, but before we move completely from storyboard, let's add the outlets and the actions. Let's add an outlet from the text field and name it email text field. Then add an outlet from the label and name it valid label. Now let's add an editing change action from the text field and name it text field did change. Remember to set the type to UI text field so we don't have to cast the sender argument later. Now we're completely done with storyboard and we can move to the code. Now let's add a new Swift file, which as you can see, it will contain our string extension. And inside the extension, we'll have a isValidEmail function, which will return a Boolean. Now, as you can see, the function defines a regular expression. What does this regular expression do? Well, I don't know. I pretty much copied it from the internet, but I do know it will validate our string and match it as an email pattern. We'll initiate a regular expression object, then call the first match method from our regular expression object and check for null. If it's no, then it would fail the test, otherwise it passes. Then we'll return the test from our isValidEmail function. Now let's go back to our text field did change function and call isValidEmail method. Before that, we'll access the email string from the sender by using conditional unwrapping. Then we'll call isValidEmail on the same conditional line. If both of those conditions are true, we'll set true to our valid label text property. But if false, we'll set that string to false. There we go. That pretty much wraps up all the necessary code. Now let's run this to quickly test our effort. That's it. In this video, we've added email validation so we can check anywhere like from a text field if our text is an email or at least fit an email pattern by using string extensions. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below recommending a video you would like me to create in the future. Until then, see you later.